Ohio gozaimasu, everybody. This is Phil Laguerre, Remax Aloha Homes. I'm out for my early morning walk. This is my house behind me. I'll turn around. Still got our Christmas lights up. I took Darth Vader down last night. And we'll start getting the lights down here maybe today. Maybe I'll do the balcony today. Joanne put most of the lights up and the Christmas tree up. I just did the lights up on the upper balcony and helped do the lights around the lanai and Darth Vader. So it's 6 a.m. here in beautiful Paradise. It was 73 degrees, I think, a few minutes ago when I checked. It's 22 Celsius for my European and Asian friends. Not too bad. Just finished raining. It was raining when I woke up and kind of hoping it would stop when I started out for my walk, and it did. So this is on my YouTube channel, Remax in Paradise. I hope you enjoy it. It's just my little morning walk. I've been doing these mostly on Facebook Live. Thought I'd shoot a short one on YouTube, put it on the channel there, because some of you check that channel out for real estate stuff. So it's a new year, obviously. Thank goodness 2020's over. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't perfect vision. So much pain and negative things happened in 2020, but hey, we survived. There's a few lights for a house around the corner. You know, humans are resilient. And if you don't believe that, just look in the mirror. You're still here. So I'm hopeful 2021 has to be much better, brighter year for all of us. Learn from our mistakes and the challenges of 2020 and move forward. So real estate is steady. It's remained stable. Business and investment. In fact, it has been on an up vector most of the summer into the fall and now winter. And homes like that and like that, all of these homes here and my home, the values just skyrocketed. Not unbelievably so, but 50, 60, maybe even 70,000 more in value than they were at the beginning of the year. Doing some valuations on homes in the area for potential buyers, and I'm seeing huge increase. And then pulling comps for homes that sold in this area recently, also huge increase. With the market being hot still for sellers, and really for buyers because the interest rates are still extremely low. It's pretty amazing. I've been reporting it probably all summer long, the feeding frenzy, it seems, of buyers with a lot of cash below coming in and outbidding each other on these single family homes of in the range of 600 to 900,000, and bumping the prices up tremendously, 40, 50, 60, 50, whatever thousand over the asking price, and then plus guaranteeing, putting a lot of cash down, guaranteeing the appraisal clause, or not even needing the appraisal clause because they put so much down. I've talked to other real estate agents, and it seems that a lot of out-of-state buyers, investors, have been doing a lot of this buying. And, it's time in the market. It's a game. Is your return on investment, your ROI, going to be greater putting it into an overpriced home, buying down the equity, and then renting it out? Because you can't sell it once the market drops. You're not going to be able to sell it for profit. Right? It's going to be probably 6 years. Once this market collapses or drops, it's going to be probably 5 or 6 years before homes will return to their normal value. And with conflated offers that are being accepted, I don't know how much longer it would take for those homes that got 50, 60,000 over the appraisal, when they will turn a profit as far as flipping. So if you think you can flip a house right now, I think you're mistaken. If you did it quickly, maybe. But, you're going to have to find tear down a home that needs a lot of love, try to get it remodeled in the next month or so. And doing that here in Hawaii is ridiculous. Our kitchen remodel project has taken a year, and we're still not done. It's just slow to get all the work done, get the right pieces and parts for the cabinetry. Now, we did order off island and pretty high-end stuff. You can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, and probably get decent enough stuff to flip a house, to remodel it quickly and flip it, but it's still going to take you a while, depending on the project, probably a couple months. And who knows what the market's going to be like in 2 months. So if you end up buying higher than it's worth, remodel it, sink $50,000 into remodel, and then expect to flip it and make a big profit. I think that's almost going to be impossible to do now. It's just too late. You could have done that September, October, maybe November. But I don't think now is a good time to try flipping. not single family homes in those price ranges. Now, you want to take investment property, that's a different story. If you want to buy a short-term rental property, little condos on the beach that investors own and don't want to keep paying the homeowner association fees or the condo fees, haven't had tourists stay in them for 9 months, 10 months, you can buy those much, much cheaper than their old market value. So the value of those homes, or not homes, but condos, is about half what it was at the beginning of last year. So if you're financially stable, that's a good play. Buy a few of those, hold on to them, fix them up a little bit. You can get a lot of them fully furnished, and they don't really require any or much fixing up. Just buy them, pay cash for them, hold on to them, wait for the tourists to come back. I think you'll see the surge in tourism, once we get out of the Christmas bump and with Corona that is going to be happening all over the place. Once the vaccine is rolled out enough into enough countries in the U.S. with Operation Warp Speed, once we have better protocols for flying, I think we'll see tourists come back to Hawaii just like they were before. It won't be right away. It won't be turn on a spigot, or the fire hose. But I think they'll be coming back. Maybe springtime. We'll see a nice boon in tourist trade. Meanwhile, if you can get out here to Hawaii, you do your COVID test, and you have your results in your hand, and you fly here, and you're obviously not positive, you don't have to go to quarantine. You can go straight to wherever you're going to be staying. Ran into a couple of guys. We actually paired up with them to play the Palmer course a couple days ago at Turtle Bay. One was from Massachusetts, the other from New York. Lawyer and a Raytheon contractor. Good buddies. Brought their families out. They decided to spend the holidays here. No quarantine. They did their COVID test at the airport. Got their results back within the hour. Got on a plane. Flew out here. Easy peasy. And they've been, living like a local for 2 weeks. Having fun. Played golf with them. They're pretty good golfers. Spanked me pretty good. But their whole family's really enjoying it here. So there's not as much inside dining going on. It's mostly outside. The beaches are open. You can dine in some bigger places. There's plenty of outdoor dining. Takeaway. The malls are open. Not much in the way of tourists, tour guides or tours and such. but some of those are starting to come back. Hilton Hawaiian Village has reopened, and they're offering insane discounts for staying there right now. So you can come and benefit from this early opening or soft reopening, whatever you want to call it. I think part of Disney's open again, Disney Resort. Marriott, which is next door, should be opening back up. Maybe open. I heard Longboards was open, which is the Marriott bar, so they're probably open. Four Seasons, I think, still closed. Turtle Bay Resort still, the hotel's still closed for remodeling. They're not planning to open back up Turtle Bay, the hotel, till probably summertime. So they're using all this time to do a lot of reconstruction or remodeling of the facility, which construction hasn't slowed down much at all. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Our monorail is actually coming along. Just might see it in our lifetime. You've heard about the monorail, right? It goes from all the way out here in Kapolei, going to go past the airport down to almost Waikiki. So that's going to be a nice benefit for mostly for, I assume, for locals getting around, getting downtown, not having to tie up the highway. Because the H1, when post-COVID or pre-COVID was pretty damn bad. Sort of reminds me of DC, Baltimore traffic. Just doesn't last as long. Might take you an hour to get home. Whereas my old DC commute, 2 hours. An hour and a half to get back out to Westminster from Fort Meade. Or longer. And then over 2 hours. Yeah, from there, from Westminster to DC, yes, over 2 hours back, even knowing all the back roads. Sucks so bad, that commute. I'm glad that I don't have that anymore. So that's my little tips for today. A little rambling, but hope you've enjoyed it. Single family homes, still a boon for sellers. Buyers that are financially stable. It's a pretty good buyer's market as well. Because the interest rates are still so freaking low. When you start to see the interest rates rise, and you're going to see the market shift. You're not going to see the overpriced homes anymore, because you're going to end up with more sellers than you have buyers, because buyers won't be able to afford the higher interest rates. It's just the way it is. So my advice is, if you're going to buy right now, don't buy something that you're uncomfortable buying. Don't buy it with an idea that you're going to flip it in a couple months. That's probably not going to happen. Unless it's investment property. You buy some nice investment property that's really at rock bottom right now. Fix it up a little bit over the next few months. Put it in rental program. Start turning that positive cash flow pretty quick with rentals, which are probably going to start booming, say probably by April, maybe May. And then the values of those things, once tourism is booming again, is going to go right back up. So you could continue to rent those out, continue making some positive cash, flow into that wallet, pay off the loan if you had a loan on it. And then at the height, again, of the tourist market, if the interest rates aren't too bad, the value is going to be high. And once the interest rates drop a little bit or they're not too bad, then you're going to have more buyers. Typically, though, people that buy those homes don't get loans anyway, unless you're going to buy multiple properties. So the value of investment property is not really tied that much to the interest rate as your primary residence is, your single family homes, townhomes. Morning. Homes that you're not renting out as a business, as an investment. Those homes, they pretty dependent on interest rate because you're buying one to live in it. So you're probably not going to pay cash. You're probably going to need to get a loan. And I always advise people, when you're going to buy, at least put 20% down on a home. One, you avoid PMI. That's private mortgage insurance, which is required in many states. If you owe more than 80% of the value of the home, of the loan. Let me say that again. If a loan is more than 80% of the appraised value of the home, then they're going to want to charge you PMI, and it's usually a 2-year minimum. If you get that tacked on to your an escrow, even if you only got a loan for like 85% of the value, you borrowed 85% of the offer, not the value, but the offer. Then they're going to stick that on, and it's going to be 2 years before you can get rid of it, even if you paid down that 5% in a couple months, so that your loan was only 80 or below 80% of the value. They're still going to keep charging you for 2 whole years. It's a couple $100 a month. Why do that? So the other reason to buy the loan down a little bit at 20%, besides avoiding PMI, is you've got instant equity. So, and that helps you in a number of ways. Let's say you bought the house and it was a higher percent, say 4%. And bought it for, I don't know, just simple purposes, $500K. You put, let's say, make it simple, $100K down. So you have a $400,000 loan, which is a little under 80% of the loan value, right? And then in a year, interest rates drop to 3%. And you want to refi so that you save a whole point off of that loan. So the first thing that has to happen is, besides picking a bank or a lender, you have to get an appraisal. If the market's dropped and that home appraises lower, say it was 500 when you bought it, that's what you got the loan for, but you paid 100 down on it. That home, let's say it appraises for 425. Well, had you not put that 100K down, had you only put, say, 50K down, it would be 10% of the loan. They're not going to give you a loan. They're not going to refi it because you're, what they say is, underwater. So the value of the home is less than what you owe on it. So they're definitely not going to finance it for you. So you're screwed. So you either have to pay a lot more down to get under the value, or you gotta wait and wait for the market to go back up. So, morning. So that's the two reasons why you'd want to buy down your loan right away. Avoid PMI. It's waste of money. And create instant equity. So in case your house drops in value and you need to refi or want to refi, or God forbid you'd have to sell it, it's still higher. What you have in it is still less than the value. The value is more than what you have in it. So when the market drops like that and you need to move, say you're military or government, you have to PCS, really best thing to do is rent it out. Get some sort of positive cash flow, even if it doesn't completely cover the mortgage. You're building equity. You're letting somebody else help you pay the mortgage payment, maybe pay most of it, maybe 75% of it. And you're developing, at some point in time, positive cash flow. All right, that's our house. I don't know if you can see in the window. Got the flag, got the agency seal on it. I guess you can see that from the street. It's funny, that's my office. That's where I do a lot of my personal self-development training, some coaching, and real estate. Do a lot of real estate business up there on that big ass computer of mine. And it's been good. So, light was on this car when I came out 30 minutes ago. I wonder what's going on there. Light's still on. Must have forgot about it. Hopefully don't have a dead battery. So this was a walk around my neighborhood. I hope you've enjoyed it. We talked a little bit about investing here in Hawaii and really anywhere. Single family homes, still a seller's market. But buyers, the interest rate's still very low, so buyers want to get out there. A lot more buyers than there are sellers because of the interest rate. Sellers can command a higher value, higher offer price for their home. They've been able to compare multiple offers and pick the higher ones. Cash wins. If you have the money to pay over the appraisal, because you're not going to get a loan for more than what the house appraises for, and you're offering $50K more than the next guy, and they pick your offer, and the house appraises, but it doesn't appraise up to that $50K above what you offer. Guess who gets to make up the difference? You do. And you can't take out another loan for that. You have to have that money in investments or saving somewhere, and it wasn't calculated. That money that you have wasn't calculated as part of your loan. In other words, your debt to income ratio was low, or you have a nice cash stream sitting in investments and index funds or something that you can draw on. That's the deal. But investment properties, pennies on the dollar. They're about half of what they were a year ago. Good time to buy them, fix them up. If you're financially stable and can hold on to them, that's a good thing to do. And then the tourist trade will be back soon. Be careful buying investment property out here. If you see something that looks too good to be true, it probably is. It's probably a leasehold. That's where you don't actually own the land. You just own the walls, and for a certain period of time. And then the owner of the land can, once the lease is up, the leasehold, they hold the land. When that lease is up, they can tear it down and kick you out. So you got to pay a mortgage payment or a loan payment and a lease for however many years. And then they still could take it away from you if they want to. So just something to be watchful for. Plus the HOA and condo fees can get outrageous here. So depending on where you're buying. Ours is pretty good, and some are good. They include all the utilities and stuff. That's the kind that you want, especially if it's a rental property, because your renters, they're probably going to run up your electric bill and water. So you want one, even if it's a little higher, if it includes all the utilities, then that's pretty much worth it. So Makaha Valley up in Waianae have probably the best value property for the dollar right now for investment properties. But you also got to be careful, make sure they are rated, they have permits to do short-term rentals, because if they don't, you could be stuck with a property that you can't advertise for rent. You could still rent it, but you have to be very careful about that. And legally, they can't rent it for less than 30 days. So longer term rentals. Anyway, that's some tips for you for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I'd try to give you a little mahalo here. All right, a little shaka. Nice talking to everyone. Hope you're doing well, and let's make 2021 the best year ever, all right? Let me be your real estate agent in charge. I'll help you. This is what I do. I help people realize their dreams in real estate. Now, I'm with the best company out here, Remax Aloha Homes. We have a strong team. We are experts in commercial, residential investment properties. Give me a call. Look me up today. I look forward to talking to you. Mahalo.